Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the video. Welcome to the garage. This is electrical episode 5. So in this episode, I'm just going to show you the lighting because it's basically finished on the back of the Bug. So it'll be the tail lights, the brake lights, and the backup lights, and the brake switch. So let's take a look. So if you come in here, I got the side panel taken off right now so we can get in here. Underneath my calipers here, I've got this switch. I made an aluminum plate that bolts onto the front here. And then it's got this spring and it pulls on this lever. When that lever is pulled, that activates the brake lights. So when you step on the pedal, it pulls that out and it turns the brake lights on. Now to adjust it, well, there's two ways to adjust it really. It's threaded here, so you can actually extend this in or out a little bit just by this nut, and there's a nut on the back side. But what I did, where the spring comes off the switch here, I actually drilled a little tiny hole. This is like a 1/16 hole in the pedal, and then I took the rod that goes through the spring, and I've got a little collar on there. So what you do is you set it to the tension that you want, so that when your foot is off the pedal, the switch turns off. And then you just turn that set screw. And then that makes it nice so that with this hanging pedal assembly, I can adjust how far in or out these pedals are. And this will allow me to make adjustments if I want to, and then just be able to easily reset this collar to the proper tension. So if we come to the instrument here, I've got a switch here for the marker lights. If I turn this on, the tail lights, the license plate light, any identifier lights come on. Down here I've got the turn signals, left and right. You can hear the relay clicking. I'll go over some of this other stuff in another video because the front lighting's not done yet. I've got this light which turns on the dome lights, which are on right now. And this light here turns on the backup lights. The dome lights, I have 2 lights on either side of the roll bar, and then I've got lighting on either side of the footwell. So I've got an LED light up here and an LED light on the other side, and as you can see, when you turn that on and off, it's really nice. It's really nice. The LED lights inside here will be really nice because the trail gets darker than dark. And if I need to stop and look at a trail map or something, I'll be able to turn that on and have plenty of light in here to figure out where the heck I am. So when you turn on the turn signals, it energizes this relay, which basically feeds the switch. This is the flasher, and I'll also be tapping off of this for the hazard lights. And then above it, this is a trailer tail light adapter. What it's meant to do is, if you have a vehicle with amber turn signals and your trailer just has brake lights and you need to use the brake lights as the turn signals, this will take that amber turn signal and convert it so that it only uses the tail lights and the brake lights as your turn signals. So I installed those in here so that I could have a separate signal coming from my turn signals, but have it operate the brake lights, because I didn't want to have amber brake lights on here. I just wanted, or amber turn signals. I just wanted the brake lights, tail lights, brake lights, and if you turn on the turn signal, I just wanted to use the brake lights on that side as the turn signals, so I installed this adapter. So at the back of the Bug here, I have brake lights. These are actually brake lights meant for, well, anything, but really they're meant for a trailer. So these are actually really high quality brake lights. Then I installed, and I'll show you this lit up in a second here, I installed this kind of like a center brake light and tail light. I wasn't sure where I was going to put this. I was looking at maybe putting it up here, maybe it up there, but anything I tried doing up there didn't look good. But I found that it fits. You know, there's this little lipped edge there. I just had to pull that down a little bit and then install this light on there. Hey Nicole, can you turn on the parking lights? marker lights. So there's 15 LEDs in here, and it fit perfectly. It goes from one end to the other, right in between these pillars, and I thought it looked really nice in there. So I installed that right in there. All right, you can turn those off. So I've got the brake lights. I've got that, let's call it that, a center brake light, and then I wanted a little bit more than that. I wanted to be pretty visible because you know, this is going to be driven on the road, and I'll be honest with you, it's pretty congested around here where I live, so people drive kind of crazy. So I really wanted some sort of a brake light, marker light that, number one, had some visibility from the side, and number two, was just a little bit higher than the brake lights, just to give it a little bit more visibility. Initially, I didn't really want to mount something up here, you know, because I didn't want to take away from the lines of the Baja Bug. But to be honest with you, I mounted them up here, and I'm actually really happy with them. I think you know, they're shaped nicely. They follow the contour of the body, and I'm happy with them. Now these are the same. I've got one here. There's one on the other side. These are the same lights that I've got running across through here. These are all the same. What they are is they're LEDs. They're 15 LEDs. They call them marker light tail light, but what they're really doing, and there's a lot of LED manufacturers that do this, it's a pretty bright LED, and what they do is, for the brake light, it sends voltage directly to the LED. For the marker light, they put a diode in there. A diode will drop your voltage about a little less than 1 volt. So if you put a diode in there in series, it makes that a little bit less bright. And that's how they had it set up. But it wasn't dark enough. It was, you know, if you turned on the tail lights and then if you turned on the brake light, it was just a little bit brighter, and I didn't like that. I wanted it to be very distinct between the marker light and the brake light. So what I did is, in my circuit feeding my tail lights, not the brake lights, I added 4 more diodes. So my 4 diodes, and then I think in their circuit they have 1 more. So there's 5 diodes altogether. So for those 3 marker lights, that diode steps the voltage down significantly more, so they're not as bright. So when you're running around with the marker lights on, you know, they're slightly illuminated, but then when you hit the brakes, they're quite a bit brighter. So I'm going to turn off this light back here, and then Nick, Cole, can you turn on the marker lights? All right, so when she turns on the marker lights, the side lights illuminate, that center light illuminates, and then the tail lights, of course, illuminate. And then the LED light back here illuminates. I don't think the camera's capturing this too well because it looks pretty cool around here. This center light really kind of glows the top portion of the engine here, and it's kind of cool looking. Can you step on the brake pedal? So when she steps on the brake pedal, of course these lights light up because these are legit tail lights. These are very bright. But also when she steps on the brake pedal, it sends full voltage to these lights. So now these are getting full voltage. Take your foot off. So that's the tail light. Put it on again. That's when they get full voltage. So, you know, as I'm going down the road, there's a pretty good amount of brake lights there, hopefully telling the people behind me that I'm stopping. All right, take your foot off the brake. Now do the right turn signal. Now when she does the right turn signal, this nothing happens to the center light. That's still just a tail light. Tail light, tail light. But now because of that converter, it's now activating the brake light over here, and it's sending full voltage to this brake over here. All right, turn that off and do the other one. So same thing over here. When she does that, it just flashes those. Okay, put the turn signal off and then turn on the backup lights. And then you flip on the backup light switch. It just illuminates these, which gives a good amount of light. These are not, purposely, these are not super duper bright, because if you don't need them to be super duper bright, you don't want them to be, because then you're just wasting voltage. But these will These will do a very good job of lighting up. I'll make a dog for you there. These will do a really good job of lighting up the back of the trail if I'm trying to turn around or something. Okay, you can turn off the backup lights. All right, now I just want to see if I can capture this a little bit better. I've got all the lights turned off. Turn on the marker lights.
Can't see.
You can't find it. Hold on. Hold on. Find the switch and just put your hand on the switch.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
Now let me turn this off. Okay, turn on the marker lights. Oh man, that's awesome. Man, you probably can't see it, but it really lights up the top of that engine. That looks awesome. All right, step on the brakes. Woo! Man, you're melting my face. That looks awesome. Looks really good. And hit the backup lights if you can find it. Oh, jeez. That's awesome. I'm really happy with that. You know, originally I was, like I said, kind of nervous about putting these brake lights up on the body, but now that I see how much they light it up, I'm really actually quite happy with that. I'm happy, actually very happy with all the lighting back here. When I tear everything apart, I'm going to clean up the wiring a little more because it got pretty messy by the time I was wiring in all of these different things. That's it for this video, guys. I just wanted to get you up to speed on the wiring and mostly the lights for the back of the Bug. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one. Take care.